There once lived a woman, and she lived on her own. She slaved on her own, and she skivvied on her own. She'd 2 little boys and 2 little girls, yet she lived all alone with her husband. For her husband, he was a hunk of a man, a chunk of a man, and a drunk of a man. Such a hunk of a chunk of a skunk of a man, such a battering, bruising husband. For he would come home late each night, he'd thrash her black, he'd thrash her white. He'd thrash her to within an inch of her life, then he'd sleep like a log with her husband. One night she gathered her tears all around her shame, she thought of the bruising and cried at the pain. She says, "You'll not do that ever again, I'll not live with a drunken husband." And as he lay and snored in bed, a strange old thought came into her head. She's gone for the needle, gone through the thread, and gone straight into a sleeping husband. And she started to stitch with a girlish thrill, with a woman's heart and a seamstress skill. She's bibbed and tucked with an iron will, all around a sleeping husband. Yes, the top sheet, the bottom sheet too, the blanket stitched to the mattress through. She's stitched and stitched that whole night through, then she's waited the dawn on her husband. And when her husband awoke with a pain in his head, and he found that he could not move in bed. "Sweet Christ, I've lost the use of my legs," but this wife, she smiled in her husband. For in her hand she held the frying pan, with a flutter in her heart, she's given him a lamb. He could not move, but he cried, "God damn, don't you swear," she says to her husband. And then she's thrashed him black, she's thrashed him blue, with the frying pan and a colander too. With a rolling pin, just a stroke or two, such a battered and bleeding husband. She says, "If you ever come home drunk any more, I'll stitch you in and I'll thrash you more. And then I'll pack me bags and be out of the door, I'll not live with a drunken husband." So isn't it true what small can do, with a thread and a thought and a stitch or two? He's wiped his slate, his boozing's through, it's goodbye to a drunken husband.